You can get out of the confessional now.
Yes.
You're fine. Yeah.
Awkward segue. All right, so former mayors of the city of Toronto have had things named after them. Mel Lastman Square, the late Mel Lastman, obviously, Barbara Hall Park, and June Rollins Park. So it's a common occurrence for the city of Toronto. Councillor Paul Ainsley has put forward a motion, and it's been added to next week's agenda at Toronto City Hall, to name a stadium in Etobicoke Centennial Park after late Mayor Rob Ford. Rob Ford's passion for football was no secret to anyone. He absolutely loved it and was a part of coaching in the city of Toronto, in and around Toronto, for a long, long time. Olivia Chow, current mayor, also endorses this idea. She will support the motion next week at City Hall. Meredith Shaw, your thoughts on this development?
Well, he certainly is our former mayor, and many edifices, like you say, are named after former mayors. So from that perspective, respect is due. I do think it's an interesting time, though, to be doing something like this when so many things that have been named are being peeled back for reasons of controversy. And you can say many things about our former mayor, but controversy certainly followed him. And to name something after him, I think would bring up some questions from people and some pushback, and I think that's happening. So I think the process, which our city council goes through all the time, is unfolding, and it should be motioned, and then it should be discussed and decided upon. And I think that's what they're going to do on December 13th.
That's, yes, the civic duty of,
I think that's what they're
councillors
going to
in
do
the
on
city.
September 13th.
That will happen next week.
But there was a lot of behavior that put Toronto on a map in a way that perhaps we did not necessarily want to be on. And there's certainly behaviors that I personally took issue with, and I think a lot of people have those feelings. So to have something named after him, I think, could give some people pause.
Devo Brown.
It's a tough one. You're right. Look, man smoked crack and talked about it and had a tragic ending and a terrible ending to what was a tumultuous life. Did he do a lot of good for a lot of people in pockets of this city that were kind of left behind and brushed aside by other mayors and other politicians in the past? 100% he did. Did he care about those kids and that he coached and really support all these programs? 100% he did. Did he have some good times as mayor helping out this city? Yeah. So where is the judgment that we have to decide now? Did that bad stuff, does it outweigh some of the good that he did?
Yeah, what's the legacy?
Right? Where is it? You know, yes, it was embarrassing for a lot of people. That's what a lot of people felt. But man, I'm personally speaking, after the many times I met him, I really liked the guy, man. And I'm never going to say, look, his personal life was his personal life, and there was a lot of demons there. But my interactions with him and what I saw him do for a lot of forgotten society in that sense was a lot of good.
But it is a fair comment, Tam, when we look at like the legacy of the late Rob Ford. It is complicated, obviously. But what gets lost in that a lot, too, is how many elections he won and how much support he would have as a councillor or as mayor. He came in with sweeping popularity as mayor of the city.
Yeah.
Gravy train, the whole 9 yards. You know it by now. This is a fascinating discussion to me right now. It is.
And when, covering it from the North Etobicoke side of things, when I would be out there and talking to people during these elections, you should hear there was not one negative word about Rob Ford within that community. And it's because he served as councillor for so long there so well that people loved him and they were happy to vote him in. The controversy, the drugs, the gang affiliation, even there was so much there that brought such a the misogyny.
There was homophobia. There was difficult policy in there.
It was difficult. There was misogyny and homophobia even while he was a councillor. I remember being at city council and having some very controversial stories about things that he would say in council as a councillor, much less what he did as mayor. And at the same time, just like you, I feel like there is a balance, Steve, when it comes to the good that he did for the community and especially for those kids, and especially when it came to football. he was a legend when it came to Etobicoke football, and I feel like it's appropriate to name the football stadium after him.
Yeah.
If we were going to rename Dundas after him, I might have an issue.
Yeah,
there.
or the Garden, or something like that.
Something like that.
It's a football stadium.
The football stadium? Okay,
Yeah.
I'd give that up.
The Gardner, they'll sell advertising on the Gardner one day to pay for it. maybe not after a former politician, but it's on the table. We'll see what happens next week. Again, Mayor Chow is in favor of this. Watch the space for more information.